You know, out of all these videos I've done this semester, not one person has even asked me about this phone that I have up there. Yes, it is a rotary dial phone. Old school, baby. Imagine texting on that. Oh my goodness. A salute to you all for a very, very, very strange semester. Would you guys like to have a fireside chat with your friendly neighborhood professor? All right, let's sit down and have a little chit chat, shall we? Couple different things I want to get into in this. This is going to be a wrap up video for the semester, just kind of an overall reflection of what has happened essentially in moving forward. Aluminum or aluminium. Probably have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? Nope. When you're trying to tell an anecdote or a story, trying to make a point, start broad, encapsulate the imagination of the audience, and bring it down to the specific topic. So, aluminum, or as we say in West Pennsylvania, alunium. 9/11 happened when I was a senior in high school. I had just turned 18 one week before. So that ages myself a little bit. Strangely enough, I'm twice as old now as I was then. That's really strange to think about. There's been a lot that has changed since then. So it was my senior year. We were in chemistry lab and we were performing experiments on aluminum and I believe copper too. I think we were doing some things there with, I can't remember, crucibles or something like that. But we were in chemistry lab, knew exactly where I was. And our teacher, who was maybe a little bit goofy, he said, plane just hit the World Trade Center. And we're like, oh, which tabloid is that? And he's like, New York Times. Oh, whoa. From that moment on, we didn't have class the rest of the day. No class. All we did is we went to the different classrooms where we would have had class and we just watched the TV. In fact, I remember we were in calculus or supposed to be in calculus. We were in a calculus class when we watched both towers fall. We knew even as young adults, 17, 18 year olds, that this was one of those moments that every generation goes through. Pearl Harbor, Kennedy assassination, and, we are living through 9/11. Every generation has that when they're, I guess, kind of younger. And that was ours. And we even knew then that things are probably going to be a little bit different here on out. And we were right. There is a before 9/11 and there is an after 9/11. The world looks somewhat different. Different rules in place, different ways we travel. And in fact, our class motto ended up being, we leave behind a world and time we will never know again. And we will never know that world before 9/11 ever again, at least not in our lifetimes. So, going through this, the COVID, there is going to be a before COVID and there is going to be an after COVID. Just the way things go, it's I don't know if there's some law of physics that maybe causes it, but there's going to be a before and after. There are some things that are going to be in place that are going to be causing some changes. What I would like to do is to at least breathe a little bit of, I guess, positivity. That's a word, right? Yeah, I think so. A little bit of positivity or something positive about it, about the changes that will be made going forward in education. Because I think we have a fantastic opportunity moving forward. I'm talking about higher education, instructors, professors, administrators, and also students. I think the professors, um, in particular, need to take a step back and really reevaluate their classes, evaluate each and every class, and figure out what can be improved, what can be changed. And now, every semester, I think most professors, at least me in particular, I definitely do it. I look at every single class and figure out what can I change? How can I make it better? What worked? What didn't work? Can I take out this lecture? Can I put in a different lecture? Can we make another lab? What about the exams? What about any of the other assignments? What is there some way to improve it for the students? So is there some way to actually improve it in a way that we can use the technology that we have now? If this would have happened even just 20 years ago, I don't know what we would have done. Even 10 years ago, I don't know what we would have done. I mean, we probably would have had some type of online instruction. We had online classes when I was an undergrad. I think I took one in 2006, 5, 6, I think 5. So I had an online class way back when, 15 years ago. So it was possible, but not like it is now. We didn't have Zoom. We didn't have teleconferencing. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have smartphones at all. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have the communication like we do now. We have the communication, we have the technology available to us that we can use it. Now, I'm not saying that we should use it strictly for online instruction, for an online only class, but I think we can use it for even the in person classes. Right back when we were told that we were not going to be going back, that we were going to suspend operations. And then finally, when they said we're going to be online the rest of the semester, not only did I say, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of the semester for the classes that I'm teaching right now, but I'm going to prepare to do that for the classes that I'm teaching in the fall also. We don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. No scientist knows. No politician knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We can make predictions, but predictions are usually half right, half wrong, and half meh. It was maybe right, maybe wrong, depending upon how you interpret the numbers. So we don't really know what's going to be happening. But I'm just not doing it in case we do have to go online again or have some type of hybrid style course or courses. But I'm doing it because I see the benefit in the in-person instruction with it. Now, I'm not talking about just doing Zoom meetings and only doing these videos that you've seen me do. Maybe a combination, but also I'm learning at the moment, how am I going to spice the videos up to make them more interesting? It's not perfect. It's absolutely not perfect. Zoom meetings are not perfect. I mean, they're probably about as boring as PowerPoints in person. Because that was kind of the thing, I guess, not to do. Told from experts on online teaching. They said, don't just do Zoom meetings because that's not how people learn online. You actually have to have a little bit more interaction than that. You have to do different activities and there's different things. So I'm even learning with that. I'm taking this opportunity to grow my ability to maybe use the online platform as a benefit, not just for online classes or hybrid classes, but in person classes. I think there's an opportunity there. Maybe take little snippets of videos, post them online, and it could be a good way for somebody if maybe if they missed a lecture or if they didn't understand something, they can go back and look at the video that is essentially the same thing that I said in class. Maybe we could post videos about some of the labs, record some of the labs, or we could have sessions where we actually record the labs. Or maybe bring in a couple of students on their own time and actually perform the labs. That way we can have an online presence and we can use it for the benefit of the program as well and the college. We can promote the program, promote the college. We can put it into a nice promotional video. Uh, so that's beneficial not just for you, but for the future students down the road. So going back to 9/11 and things changing, there are there were plenty of changes after 9/11, and there's going to be plenty of changes after COVID. I think one of the major changes that you will see is you're going to see more of an online presence. I was listening to a podcast. It was by a couple individuals, I think from Southern Utah University, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, they surveyed some of their students, and they said that a good portion of them actually thought that they were getting just as good instruction, if not maybe a little bit better, and they liked it a little bit better from the online. They could kind of be at home, they could be in their pajama pants. But there was also a group of students, about a third, I think, that were kind of struggling. So there's some people that are going to be really good at it and some not so good. And same thing with professors. Some professors, man, they just can't deal with not being in class. I'm kind of in the middle. I love the in person. I love seeing your faces. I love seeing your reactions when I tell a stupid, bad joke, an outdated joke, and tell you an outdated movie reference because, most of you were born either late 90s, early 2000s, and I'm quoting movies from the 80s. So, I like to see those reactions, and I don't get that from this. But I also see the benefit of remote instruction or online instruction videos. The benefit I see from what I was doing, and this is why I did it this way, is because I knew that you were probably going to have a lot of Zoom meetings. I seen that coming, and I said, and I taught classes like this in the past, and graduate level exercise physiology class, and I wanted you to be able to do it on your own time. I didn't want you to be strapped to every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 o'clock. We're going to have a Zoom meeting for 40 minutes and we might go over. So if we go over, we're going to have to send you the link again and just a whole bunch of stuff there. So put the videos up. You can watch them whenever you want. And you can take the exam as long as the exam is up. You can take the exam whenever you want. So that's why I structured it that way. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. There's some things I would have changed, but I learned a lot. Always trying to learn in every situation moving forward. So, moving forward with everything, my plan is to record lectures for every single class that I have. I've already got a couple of them done, so I might as well do the rest of them, right? And it's going to show me too, from doing the online lectures and doing the videos, I've already seen some things that I can maybe take out, or maybe some things that I need to put into the class. And I've also come up with some creative ideas of creating maybe animations in videos. I just need to figure out the ins and outs of actually creating the animations and what goes into that. But I have the programs to do some of that. So I just need to be able to figure it out. They don't have to be great, but at least something. But also just creating short little video clips of explaining the sliding filament theory or the ATP PC system, something, just short little clips. That's really all that we need, 5-minute clips or so. And then also have the big long lectures if somebody wants to watch that. Also planning on putting the audio up for podcast purposes or for audio purposes if someone wants to listen to in their car, in their headphones somewhere if they're out at lunch or something like that. So wanting to do that type of stuff because I think we need to take advantage of the opportunities that we have with the technology. We have to. We're in a This is the best time to be alive. No matter what is happening in the world, this is the best time to be alive. We have technology right now that there've been no possible way we would have dreamed of. At least I would have dreamed of as a 17, 18-year old. There'd been no way. I would have thought we'd be walking around with a phone that you basically just touch the screen and you can pinch and zoom and you can do everything on this. Everything. Pretty much you can do your banking, you can do your emails, you can do your texts. I think they still do phone calls too. I think. So anyway, we want to make this positive. Now, moving forward in higher education, there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some major changes moving forward. There could be some losses in certain places, but I'm going to take this opportunity to try to improve myself in my classes and help anyone else who needs some assistance and maybe online instruction. And I want to get some ideas from other people how they're doing the online instruction. I'm reading articles. I'm watching videos. Just trying to get every little tip that I can. Not because I think that moving forward we're going to be all online every single semester from here on out. There could be maybe a second or third wave next year that could hit us. So it's a possibility there. But what I'm saying is use it to the advantage for the in-person sessions. It's supplemental instructions that can be beneficial. So when you leave the class, you have your notes and maybe certain parts of the notes while you're studying, you're like, oh man, I don't know if I get that. I can't remember what that was. So you can email me, or you can watch a video, or you can watch the video and then email me and be like, hey, can you clarify this again? I'm watching the video, but you said this in class, or I think you said this in class, and you say this in the video, and we can go back and forth. And at least we have a conversation about it instead of, well, I don't know what he said. I don't really want to go to his office. So and then I never hear about it again. So I want to make it so that it's beneficial for the students. And that's the whole point. That's why we're here, is to make the instructions beneficial for the students. For you guys, topic number 2 that I would like to talk about is me and another professor at another college. We are planning on starting a podcast here within the next few weeks. So a little bit of background. I have actually done a couple podcasts myself. They were just of myself, kind of talking about different topics. And I did not get through, I think maybe 2 or 3 episodes of each of them. You would have never heard of them. Trust me on this. They were awful. I had no idea what I was doing. At least I have a little bit of an idea now. And I did not get past what would be considered, I think, the 7-episode hump. That's get past 7 episodes. You tend to stick with it a little bit more. I don't think I got past that for a couple different reasons. And it wasn't because I lost interest in the topics. The topics were basically my field, exercise physiology, and guns. So those were the 2 topics. I didn't lose interest in them. It just, I think the biggest problem that I had, the biggest problem was the second problem, I guess, is the smallest one, was I didn't really have a co-host, didn't really have anyone to bounce ideas off of. I didn't really know who to do, because podcasts, at least at that time, they were becoming popular, but people were just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to sit and talk in front of a microphone. I don't want to be online. So it was just really weird. Anyway, The other issue, and that was probably part my problem too, is I didn't kind of seek it out enough. I didn't become more forceful to some people to be like, hey, sit down and talk with me a little bit. The other thing is, I was not myself, figuratively and literally. And what I mean by that is, in the one about my field, I was trying to be all professional and, you know, say professional things. And I just was not myself. I mean, you guys know me. I'm animated. I'm bouncing off the walls half the time, or sometimes. Sometimes I can be boring. If I haven't had enough coffee, then I'm not bouncing off the walls, and I'm a little bit more calm. But that's just the way I am. I'm just kind of somewhat of a hyper individual. And the other one, I didn't even use my real name. So figuratively and literally, I was not myself in either one of them. So I think that's probably why. This one, I'm going to be myself. It's my name. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. These are true opinions of me. The co-host that I do have, that I'm going to have, is a professor from my last job in Texas. Strangely enough, I kind of hired him. I was the chair of the committee that we had hired him. So he ended up becoming, he's become one of my good friends. I consider him one of my best friends. We have similar opinions and likes, and we have some differing opinions on some things, like everybody does. Nobody has really the same opinion on everything, at least I don't think. But we have similar opinions. But we've kind of bounced ideas back and forth about what to talk about. Some things that we want to talk about is stuff in our field. It's going to be more of an education-centered type of podcast, exercise science or physiology, a little bit of taking that and applying it to something else that we both enjoy is hunting. And also about the cost of education, about textbooks, about the structure of higher education and just education in general. Why do we start in August? Why don't we start in like July? Why is that? Can we change it for the better? Why do we have 2 days right before Thanksgiving and then we come back for a week or maybe 2 weeks or whatever it is? And then those 2 weeks that we're back or a week and a half that we're back, nobody wants to do anything and nobody's there the 2 days before Thanksgiving. So that's definitely a big topic to get into. Get into maybe supplements, and general education, just kind of, a whole myriad of topics around higher education. We need to come up with a name and a little bit of artwork, but sometime over the next few weeks, we're going to be recording probably our first session. And one thing that I talked to him today, and we're bouncing ideas back and forth. And one thing that I mentioned, because I listened to some podcasts about education, and one thing that I see that's missing from a lot of education podcasts, can you guess what it is? No, that's not it. I'm just joking. God, oh my goodness. It's you. You're missing. Very few times have I ever heard them bring students onto a podcast. So if we go into some of these topics, like the cost of education or the cost of textbooks, you hear it from quote unquote experts, economic experts. They might bring in an administrator, someone like that, or maybe a book publisher who or an author, maybe. But I hardly ever hear anything about the students. What do the students think about it? And having some of their opinions, because that's a different take on it. That's something completely different that I don't hear at least that often. And we would like to bring students in. So could be an opportunity for you to come on the podcast and kind of just discuss some things, be somewhat candid, maybe not a little bit too candid. Some other things we want to get into, stories that we have about being professors, stories about classes and certain students, no names or anything be dropped, but just maybe some just general stuff about being a professor. So it's going to be education rounded or centered. I don't know how you want to put that, but But it's going to be a lot of different topics there. So I wanted to bring that up because if you have any topics that you might want to talk about, if you want to maybe be one of our guests, possibly, um, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know. We can kind of discuss about anything, really. I guess. So might be posting that up here with the next couple weeks, letting some of you know about it. So look forward to that. So that was basically all that I had for this. That was kind of two major points. The point about there's going to be a post COVID, things are going to change, things are going to be a little bit different moving forward, but we can make it positive. We can make it positive in higher education. We have to make it positive in higher education. If we do the doom and gloom, oh my goodness, we're not in person all the time and the online classes aren't working. Well, improve them, improve the online instruction, and be able to take the online instruction and be able to use at least some of that for the in person. That's kind of the whole point of my first point was moving forward, we need to use the technology that we have available to us for either supplemental instruction or how whatever we want to do. We know that everybody can do Zoom meetings now, and we can do some sort of online instruction. So why wouldn't we use that to our advantage? Find some way to use it for the benefit of the students for the in-person sessions. And then also talking about potential podcasts in the future from yours truly and another professor. So, but I'll be getting you that information if you're even interested. I don't know. I don't know. You probably get the email and be like, what the heck is this? Anyway, I thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if maybe you have any ideas about podcast topics that you would like to talk about pertaining, any topics you would like to talk about pertaining to education, higher education, could be elementary education, could be homeschooling, could be something in exercise science, whatever the topic is, if it fits into what we are trying to do with the education, we will talk about it. We can try to have you on the podcast. Please drop us a line. We are, I think we're willing to have students for the most part coming on. No, we want to have, I guess, quote unquote, experts on there as well, but we want to have students also. We want to have their opinions and their views on it. I wish I would have cared more about some of these topics when I was in undergrad and grad school. Maybe would have made it some different choices. So please, if you have any topics, even if you don't want to come on, if you have a topic that you would like to see covered, please let us know. So anyway, I thank you for watching. I thank you for a great semester, regardless of how things took place throughout the semester. It was a good semester. We learned a lot. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. We will get through this. We will become better human beings on the other side of this, and we will grow from this. If you are graduating, congratulations. If you have anything that you need, please do not hesitate to contact me. If you are not graduating and you're coming back in the fall, I really hope to see your face in the fall. Please say hello sometime if you are on campus and you are on campus at the same time I am, and if we're even allowed within the same area of one another, stop by my office. Thank you for watching. You all take care and stay safe. I mean, seriously, could you guys imagine trying to text with this? Oh, let's just say LOL. How about that? Okay, there's L. LOL. There you go.